Let's do this. The Cult of Hockey podcast by the faithful and for the faithful. I'm David Staples of the Edmonton Journal, and I'm here tonight with Bruce McCurdy. Hey, Bruce.
Hey, David. How you doing tonight?
Yeah, feeling a little bit better. Not quite as coughing and congested, but still not completely over whatever has been gripping me. How about you?
Much the same. I think all three of us have been kind of battling this different bugs, I guess, because Kurt's on an island a long way from us, but
Yes.
we're all struggling through it a little bit. But kind of like our Edmonton Oilers, eh? We just haven't got the energy we need to really get the job done.
Yeah, that was a very, very disappointing game, Bruce. What was the score on the end? 6-3? Is that it?
6-3 for San Jose in a game that Edmonton led 2-0. After
Oh,
6 minutes, they came like they were shot out of a cannon. And as soon as it got to 2-0, it was like San Jose flicked the switch, and then Edmonton couldn't touch the puck for the next 15 minutes. And it was just downhill from there.
the Oilers got totally, after they got up 2-0, they were totally outworked all game long.
Mm-hmm.
Even more so than the Arizona game, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think that San Jose just totally outworked them, wanted it more, outworked them, and with predictable results. The Oilers aren't that good that they can coast to a victory. Not even close.
Well, it's 2 games in a row where a team that was behind them in the Pacific Division standings played more desperate, with more speed and tenacity than the Oilers, and comfortably walked away with the win.
Yeah. So this is our two good things, two bad things, and two numbers podcast, Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll start with our good things, and I'll start with mine. Okay. Sam Gagner. Mm-hmm. And I'm not just saying this because I had been asking him and hoping that he would go on the first line. He really earned a promotion to the first line with his play recently. He's just been playing very smart and tenacious hockey, and he's got some skill. He's a skilled hockey player still. And with James Neal out, Bruce, the top line with Cassian and Archibald, I think it was Kerry Kettles on Twitter who was making this point. Those guys are both fast, but they both lack skill. And McDavid needs to play with at least someone who is fairly highly skilled. James Neal is fairly good with the puck, and so is Sam Gagner. So with Neal out, I just think that line was pretty flat, and it culminated in McDavid zero's major contributions to scoring chances against Arizona. Something was clearly wrong, and the coach rectified it by playing Gagner on that line, starting out with Archibald. And Gagner was in on the first two goals. He, of course, scored one of them on a jam play. The first goal, puck was batted around, and he finally put it in. And he made he won a battle. I can't recall exactly what. Do you recall what he did on the second one? On the second goal, McDavid's goal.
Yeah, it was a neutral zone face-off,
right.
And I think he sort of forced the turnover, and it went back to Nurse, and Nurse hit McDavid, and McDavid did the rest. But Gagner had made a decent play at the top of it to.
That's what it was.
To at least help a little bit.
I'd like to see him there. I'd like to see him there until Neal comes back. I think he's an effective hockey player in that role. So good for Sam Gagner. Good game. What was your good thing?
Well, I'm going to go with the second goal, the goal by Connor McDavid, where he put on a Connor McDavid style show early in the game. I mean, he made a great rush in the build up to the first goal, where he went right around Erik Karlsson, I believe it was, and tried to deke, but couldn't quite finish. Aaron Dello made a great toe save with his on the glove side, and then the second time again, McDavid got the puck in the neutral zone and blew past the defenseman one-on-one, and this time he had the puck in a slightly different position, and he went back to that tried and true back against the grain to the forehand and roof it. The same one he scored on the miracle wonder goal against Toronto a few weeks ago, that move. And it was a very pretty goal. And at that point, it looks like McDavid's flying. The Oilers are already up by a couple. you know, and then
Okay, this gets to my bad thing right away
bad
because
things
it's
happen immediately thereafter and pretty much for the rest of the night.
all you have to do is get through the next 10 minutes. Just crank it up for get through the first period 2-0 and you're going to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
It's just get through, they're going to have some pushback, just get through it. And what happens, it's the typical freaking San Jose goal scored against us that we have seen for 10 years, Bruce, if not longer. The point shot, which is deflected in. How many times have they scored that goal? Why don't the Oilers forwards cover Brent Burns more closely? Why don't they let him get the puck and get off a shot? Why don't you just have someone standing by that guy just what's it called, a box and one in basketball, where
Yeah.
you have someone on the shooter and you play a zone otherwise. Just have someone on that guy. You know. So why does he get so many open looks every game against the Oilers? Figure that out, coaches. Okay. So Nugent Hopkins is out there, and of course Burns isn't trying to score. Adam Larson has got to know that. Adam Larson's coming out to block the shot. But you know that he's not, Burns isn't trying to put the puck at the net, Adam Larson. He's going to put the puck at the net. He's going to put the puck at the guy in front of the net that Adam Larson should be covering. And my bad thing is Adam Larson's decision to go block that shot instead of try to cover that guy in front of the net who deflects the puck in. Just take his stick. Take his stick. That's where Burns is shooting. You know he's shooting. We've seen this play 50 times over the years. And I don't even think I'm exaggerating. Well, probably I'm a little bit. But we've seen it 20 times where Burns puts it on net and it's deflected in because he's not covered. He gets the pass, and the guy he's shooting, his stick isn't taken out. I'm tired of that play. I've seen it enough. You'd think the Oilers have coaches and the whole team have seen it enough to stop it. I was very frustrated, Bruce.
I can tell, David. I know. I mean, the first game this year where San Jose sacked Edmonton, I think it was also 6-3 in San Jose, and they scored 5 goals on deflections, or maybe one of the deflections turned into a rebound that they stuffed home. But it was basically they got all of their offense the same way. Some guy in the point with a free shot, some guy in the slot with a free tip, some poor Oiler goalie trying to deal with a couple of bodies in front and a deflected puck from the slot and unable to do so, and into the net she goes. And, it
Yeah.
was. I have to say, I enjoyed the opening of the game, but when that switch flipped, even when it was 2-0 Edmonton, I thought I don't like this because San Jose suddenly just took over possession, and Edmonton started chasing and not very fast and not very effectively. So.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Caleb Jones in the game, Bruce. I just think against a team like that, the lesson is you need puck movers. And I know you got to see William Lagesson at some point, but man, I just think against San Jose, you needed Jones's passing at the back end, and that wasn't the difference in any way in the game. I'm just adding that in as I'm sneaking in another bad thing is what I'm doing. Okay, what is your bad thing?
Yeah, well, having credited Connor McDavid with a fine play on the first Edmonton goal, I'm going to uh, uh, single out Connor McDavid for some very poor defensive coverage on the third and fourth San Jose goals that basically were the difference makers in this game in the second period. San Jose scored 2 goals in each period. The third goal was particularly egregious. It was 2-2. McDavid was taking a shift with Edmonton's fourth line in the place of Gaetan Haas, which Gaetan Haas actually was pretty good tonight, so I'm not sure
Yeah,
why they tried that experiment. And both forwards, Chason and Benson, got caught deep in the attacking zone, and McDavid tried to make it play at the offensive blue line and got beat. But so then San Jose went into the neutral zone 2-on-2, and Erik Karlsson jumped up into the play. And McDavid was the only guy in position to take him. He just floated back and he watched the 3-on-2. And of course, the puck comes to Karlsson. Of course, he gets a good shot away. And the rebound goes into the slot where McDavid is also the closest to the goal scorer. A guy named, let me get this right, Maxim Litunov. first NHL goal. Well, he scored the goal because he was working hard to get the puck in front of the Edmonton net, while the best player on the other team, and in the eyes of many, the best player in hockey, was not working hard to get that puck and instead turned away from the net front, leaving the odd man situation intact. That was just a very poor read and, frankly, a poor effort by McDavid on that play. I don't know any way to sugarcoat it.
Bruce,
That could be a
it
$700,000 player. I'm going to be ripping him.
it was a terrible flyby. If McDavid, even though he was slow on the back check on
Mm-hmm.
Carlson, if he didn't do that horrible flyby, he would have had a chance at least to make the play on the rebound. And come on, like it's not acceptable. It's
And then
not
on the 4-2
acceptable.
goal, a guy named, who the heck was that? Oh, Stefan Noesen
Oh, I
got the
thought it was
puck.
true.
Well, True got the puck behind the net and he banked it out
Okay,
to Noesen. And Noesen got the puck at the side of the net. And again, McDavid standing, what, 5 feet away from him in the slot. Like, he wasn't in
yeah,
horrible position. He just
yeah.
didn't move and he didn't recognize the danger. And frankly, neither did Mikko Koskinen. And that goal was just horrible. It was just a nothing play. Bam, game-winning goal. It turned out to be. And it's a pretty defining goal for how Edmonton played in this game. Both of those goals were, and Edmonton's defensive play was flat out rotten in this game, both
Yeah,
defending the rush and defending the zone and the cycle, and especially, as you say, defending the low slot tip-ins.
McDavid has been so good in the last month
He
too.
has, he
Like he
has.
really has. He's really taking care of business. But
Another bad thing, I rock your favorite, Leon Draisaitl, who had a very bad defensive coverage on the last goal that kind of put it
yeah,
to bed, but just didn't have a lot of jump in his step all night long. McDavid at least did a couple of things at the good end, but Leon just didn't have
no.
it going on at all. So,
All three of the big guys were out there for that one: Nugent Hopkins, McDavid, and
mhm.
Draisaitl.
Yep.
And none of those guys, other than McDavid at the start of the game, were really going.
Nope.
Nugent Hopkins, I thought, lacked energy all game as well.
Hmm.
Yamamoto was going hard on that line,
Hmm.
but that was you have your best three players essentially, and it's hard to say with McDavid because he did start out so well, but after that there just was no pop in their game, and the Oilers got popped. All right, what's your number?
I'm going to go with the number 6, not because it's the number of goals San Jose scored on Oilers again, because that's the number of penalty minutes that Oscar Klefbom took in tonight's game, 6 PIM, which ties the number of penalty minutes he took in the 2016-17 season. Took 3 penalties the entire year, played all 82 games. Remember, he had 0. He was chasing Bill Quackenbush's record there, deep into the season. I think he finally got a puck over glass penalty or something. Tonight he got a double minor for a high stick and a single minor for embellishment, and uh, all around he had a tough game. I thought he and Larson really struggled in the defensive zone. And 6 penalty minutes for Oscar Klefbom. Like, where'd that come from? That's
4 minutes
not
seemed a
his
bit
game.
steep.
Well, I guess the guy was cut. I don't know. Maybe the Oilers need to start taking blood thinners or something. No, I can't remember the last time we had a 4-minute power play, and the other guys had one 2 games in a row.
All right, I have to say I've been waiting for the whole podcast for you to say piss on a plate, Bruce. I'm a little disappointed. Okay, my number is 5, and it's the Oilers' first goal, and it's a rare goal where you have all 5 players making a major contribution
Mm-hmm.
to a grade A scoring chance. Usually there's 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
Very rarely there's 4. I can't remember 5, honestly.
There's
but
been there's been a small number, but they're
yeah,
relatively rare. Where all 5 guys chip in. At that point, I was thought, hey, they've got it tonight. That whatever they were missing the other night, they got it tonight.
yeah. So it starts out well with Yamamoto's winning some pucks in the corner, and then Bear makes a nice feed into the slot area. McDavid gets a shot on net, and Yamamoto's there screening the goalie, and the rebound banks off Nurse, who but he's also done a good thing, right? He's gone hard to the net. It goes off his leg to Gagner, who slams it in. Just a fantastic goal. and yeah, and of course followed up quickly by another goal. And I was like you, Bruce. I was putting the win, the
Uh,
game in the win column already. Unfortunately, the Oilers were doing the same thing at the same time. I guess maybe we're all to blame. Maybe it's karma.
I get more sour at games where they lost games where a lead is blown than I do in lost games where they just lost, you know. But anyway, the very you talk about rare things. I'll tell you what's a rare thing on that goal, and I made a note to you in the scoring chance document. The official scoring on the goal, they got both assists wrong. They had their
Who got the
place.
assists?
It wound up being Yamamoto and Nurse
Yeah,
at the net front. And
okay.
originally they gave it to Bear, who passed it to McDavid, who took the outside shot. So they announced it as uh, uh, Gagner from McDavid and Bear, and they wound up correcting it to Gagner from Nurse and Yamamoto. And the deflection by Yamamoto was quite obvious. I thought the Nurse play was kind of a funky one, but he clearly chipped the puck over to Gagner, and Gagner made a really nice job to control and roof it from the backhand. Like he buried the goalie was down and out, but Sam made no mistake from the high slot off the backhand side. It was a hard working goal. Uh,
Did Yamamoto tip that on net?
yeah, yeah, he was
All right.
right in the net front after twice shaking the puck free earlier in the shift. He was buzzing all over on that shift.
Okay, well, I'll have to add a scoring chance there because if he tipped it in front of the goalie, that's a chance.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That should be two separate chances
Yeah.
because yeah, the original shot was tipped right in front. You could hear it, and that was why Dell was unable to recover the control the rebound.
Yamamoto really was a bright spot tonight. He's such a
Mhm.
fun player to watch right now. Not because, the Oilers were desperate to have, not just because the Oilers were desperate to have a player like him turn out, but man, he's just hustle, smart player. So skilled, makes good plays all over the ice. He's going to be a massive fan favorite if he can stay healthy, and because I think if he stays healthy, he's going to keep up this level of play. He's just fantastic.
He somehow had an even plus minus tonight on a night both of his line mates were -3.
Well, there's justice in the world. Bruce, we call goals against, often we refer to them as a sequence of pain.
Yeah,
Well, after the Oilers' second goal, that whole game was pretty much one big
yeah.
sequence of pain. That's It was just
Well, they
breath
had about a two
almost in
minute
moment.
shift. They had about a 2 minute shift where Edmonton never touched the puck, and Koskinen lost his goal stick, and they were trying to make a change, and Darnell Nurse decides, well, I'm going to give
Oh,
Koskinen my stick before I go off, and he goes back. He tosses Koskinen his stick, gets a penalty for throwing the stick. Koskinen there, I mean, I'd rather have a defenseman with a stick than a goalie with a player stick. I mean, the player stick is just a foreign object to a goalie. And Nurse tries to go for the change, and San Jose turns it around so quick that he has to turn around and come back without a stick to try and defend. And the delayed penalty lasted, it seemed like another 2 minutes before Edmonton finally touched the
and
puck.
and there had been time for Koskinen to go get his own stick or for a defenseman to get
Oh.
it for him. He
Yeah,
didn't have to do that.
they cleared it all the way to the far blue
Yeah, if
line.
they had
They
just
couldn't get the
immediately
shot to go.
gone, if he just immediately gone and got that stick for him, it would have been fine.
Yeah, a
Uh,
player can go and get it for him and hand it to him. That might have
yeah,
been the play there.
it's funny, Bruce. As bad as that game was, there was a moment. I think the real turning point of the game, though, was early in the second period. Riley Sheahan made that great play and got that break. He got a break in alone, deked out the goalie completely, but lost control of the puck before he could put it in. I thought he scored. Like
Mhm.
initially, I just thought,
Yeah,
how did you miss? You totally deked the goalie. But he's Riley Sheehan. He's not Leon Draisaitl or Connor McDavid, and the puck went off his stick. But if he had scored there, who knows?
yeah, it was a turning point. There was a lot of things that went badly for the Oilers in there, and the things that almost went well but didn't wind up going well could be added to that list, and that was one of those.
Excuse me. All right, let's leave it there. When do they play next? What's the next game?
Saturday early evening against Nashville Predators in the 5 o'clock slot
Oh no.
because it's Hockey Day in Canada, and Calgary is playing Vancouver in the 8 o'clock slot. So they thought for the Western audience it might make more sense to have Edmonton play early. So all the other six Canadian teams are playing each other, and only Edmonton is playing an American team. But so it
Uh,
is. Since it used to be with six Canadian teams, it was clean and easy. But now they have seven. It's a little trickier to make that happen. So there's always one team that's kind of extra, and this year that's the Oilers. But that's a huge game against the Preds, and they'll be playing another team that's behind them in the standings, that's desperate to win, and they're probably coming into town saying, Edmonton's a little bit down right now. Let's jump on those guys. And the Oilers better be bloody prepared to jump back. They got
yeah,
to bring it, and they got to bring it for more than 6 minutes. You know.
that's that's why I was groaning as soon as you said Nashville. That's it popped in my head. Like this is a desperate team and a good team. So we'll see what happens. I imagine we're going to see Mike Smith in that.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll have a better game than Koskinen did. All right, Bruce. Thanks for talking.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, everyone.
And in the meantime, and in between times, this has been another edition of the Cult of Hockey podcast.